but with like, what iron is that, Tristan? 9 iron. So it's pretty straight, little curve, okay? Now go to the top for me. You'll see that he stayed pretty centered. Now come back down. Boom, he's got both of these here external. This lower pelvis, because this left side's lower, is going here. His upper body, because this right lateral bend's staying centered. Now do that again. Up. When he starts to do this is when he gets in trouble. That whole thing tilts, or when he starts adding too much of this. I don't want that either. So go to the top right now and go into external and then actually fire through. Reclamp the knees. So let's see if you can do this. Good, that was beautiful, okay? Now, the only problem is his feet are a little wide because he's taller, he needs to get to the ball. So I'm gonna do it for him, let's see. Go ahead, hit it. No, you're good, that's good. A little bit more narrow, good. So you can actually turn through the bottom. Good, see that right there? So as soon as I will let him go out, let's do one more of those, you could slam him back in. Good, one more of those. See, and that's a good thing. That's what's gonna happen to a lot of you because it's changing your low point a whole bunch. Good, beautiful, okay. So now that he understands, and all his job is now to reclamp his legs together. Do it one more. So one more, don't hit the ball, go up the top. So he goes around. Now, what is he gonna do? Stay back there? He can push off that right side and turn, okay? He's not staying on that back foot. Good, see how you pushed off and how much better that was? That felt different, didn't it? Now let's do it again, go top, don't hit. This is what was happening to a lot of members. They were just sitting back here with no push off, okay? So once he's got around to here, he can start pushing off that foot and making the divot move forward. Good, so much better. That's way better, right?
Wait, what the heck?
Okay, so there you go. So the difference is he was sitting back here, and Tristan just actually shot 7 under, but sometimes he gets hung back here. I said after he's got here, there's got to be a little push into the right side. So watch one more. After he's got external around, boom. Ooh, you're back, G. So what we want to do is get our face square, okay? And square would be, if I'm standing straight up and down, that's square to what? My back line. And then I get into my spine angle, boom. And that's why if you got a driver, I'm much more vertical up here, and my face with the driver looks a lot more open. You notice that? Okay. So as we come in here and I do that same thing, I'm turning. Watch, I'm gonna have a little throw now. I have no throw, and now I'm gonna have a little more power to it. Boom. And now I just actually extended my arms. And when do they extend? Impact into the Y position. This is the Y, 45, okay? That's where they're starting to punch, okay? Does it make sense? What I do for a lot of my players is make them understand that getting into a position where they've rotated the chest, that brings the handle forward, and it also gets my arm into more of a bent position rather than being back to square and at impact being here. So the more and more I open, the more and more that right arm is gonna be bent. So now I'm gonna have to stay in front bend or more flexion to get into the ball, okay? So if I knew that as I turned, that brings my club about 3-4 inches above the ground, I have to go down 3-4 inches to create this trapping position, okay? Now, what I like to do is a lot of my iron players, they end up going down and just 3 inches down and they stay there, okay? You look at someone like a Rory does something cool, he doesn't just stay down and hit down on it as much. What Rory's doing is he's going more down further than most, let's say 6 inches just to make a hypothetical, and then he's going back up 3 inches, so as he's going up, he's creating speed, but most people stay level, and then they go up and they have to add loft, okay? So we want this dynamic loft to be low, boom, but because of the rotation is going to create the speed. But now you're going to get parametric acceleration, which means you're not just down here, you're going to get, as you start to go up and left with the shoulder, the club's going to extend and you're going to extend all your speed at the bottom. And how's that going to happen? Boom, as you extend up all this and turn, this thing's all going to throw at the bottom, okay? So I'm going to go. Okay, so I tried to go down and then back up. I slid a little bit more, but guess what? I stay more down on my irons with my driver. I'm going down and then up. A lot of guys are going down and a little up with their irons too, and those are the higher ball hitters. So I'm more of a trapper, so that's a little more different for me to actually do that with an iron. I do that completely with the driver because I'm hitting more up on it, okay? So you know, that's how you're gonna get more speed on it. You either stay in your lower bend because you're rotating and the shoulder's opening up, or you're gonna go down lower and then start to come back up. And that's how I always explain to hit it higher, but that's also creating more speed. But speed compared to D-loft, who's gonna win the race? The D-loft is always gonna win the race over speed, okay, if they're within reason, okay? So I get a guy with a low dynamic loft. I do it to people all the time. I'll swing one for fun 80 miles an hour with a 8-iron, and I have my dynamic loft at 20, and I'll hit it 175 yards, okay? And then I get a guy swinging at 95, and he has dynamic loft of like 30, and he's hitting it 160, okay? Or even 100. I had a kid swinging it at 100 miles per hour. His dynamic loft with an 8-iron was 30, and he was hitting it 170, and he's like, "Ooh, I'm killing it." Well, then I get in there with a speed of like 88, and I hit it 185 miles per hour because my dynamic loft was down to 18, okay? So dynamic loft with less speed is gonna be better than a guy with adding loft and have more speed. Remember that. But if you can put them both together and have mad speed and that dynamic loft down, you're gonna be like Dustin and you're gonna hit it further than everybody. So I'm gonna throw this without throwing it. See, I did that look stupid. Keep your elbows on your side. Good, and just turn and let it come out. Yep, exactly, yep, just let it flow. Exactly, beautiful. Okay, now, I'm gonna do one more time. That's what I want you to hit like right now. Feels really dumb. Exactly. Now, I'm going to throw you the right. Exactly. So now I'm going to throw it right now. My arms are just going to extend into a throw. Just like you're a baseball player. It should be natural. You turn and then you throw. That's a perfect throw. Now, when you got to me, this is you. Boom. You're throwing right. You're throwing at the ground. You got what I'm saying? Okay. So we want to let the chest and the hips turn into the ball. So watch this. So once I've come down to here, I already showed you the sequence. My hips are about 30 open, chest square. From here, all I'm doing is turning my right shoulder and my right pocket around as the left side clears. You see that right there? So that's what's really happening. I'm not doing this action. I'm just turning into it. Got it? So let's try it again. Now, as I'm turning, watch this. I can turn a lot of different ways. Or I can turn and keep my pelvis under me. See that right there? So that's kicking up, and I'm standing up as I'm turning around. Got it?